Monsters. Who doesn't love monsters? Who doesn't love giant monsters? For thousands of years, people have been fascinated by the idea of giant monsters living among us. Whether our ancestors encountered strange creatures, or storytellers coming up with giant mythical beasts, or legends and folklore being passed down generations, giant monsters have been present in all cultures since civilization began. Today, giant monsters are still part of our popular culture, though nowadays they are represented by the entertainment industry, especially in the movies. I like giant monster movies. I think they're a whole lot of fun, even the bad ones. But this has got me thinking, where did this all start? How did we get here? Today I want to talk about the film that started it all. The film that would start the domino effect for the genre. I want to talk about the very first giant monster movie that was ever made. The Jersey Skeeter. Yep, that's what it's called, the Jersey Skeeter. In the late 19th century, inventors throughout Europe worked to innovate and create new machines that could capture and display multiple images or photographs in a sequence. At the time, these pictures would be displayed in sequence and could tell somewhat of a story. It would also be quite the compelling fad at the time. In 1895, the Lumiere brothers would invent the cinematograph, a machine that could capture moments in real time and display them as moving images, thus creating the motion picture. Soon after the invention of the cinematograph, new cameras were being made and improved upon the invention, and new artists and innovators would start to pioneer storytelling techniques. The film industry would boom, and pretty much would never stop for the rest of time. Horror movies, comedies, dramas, science fiction, animation, all these movie genres would start to flourish. It wouldn't take long before someone made a film about a giant monster, and that someone is Arthur Marvin. Marvin was a cinematographer and cameraman when cinema was in its infancy. He worked for the American Mutoscope and Biograph Company, where his brother Harry was one of the founders. He worked alongside many filmmakers, including the directorial debut of the infamous D.W. Griffith. Marvin would also direct his own films, and one of those films is the very first film to feature a giant monster, the Jersey Skeeter. The Jersey Skeeter was a short silent film he directed in the year 1900, 123 years ago. The film also clocks in at a mere 2 minutes in length. Now, I could not for the life of me find any footage of this film that exists, so I presume that the film is lost. But I know the film exists because there are plenty of documented records that can prove that the film exists. The American Film Institute has a page dedicated to the film, and the United States Library of Congress possesses an original 1902 catalog printed by the American Mutoscope and Biograph Company, which gives a detailed description of the film as it was seen in 1902. The plot summary provided by the Library of Congress states that the set represents the back of a house in a rural area. An old man is sitting at a table with a large barrel on it. The barrel is labeled Jersey Applejack, and the man seems to have been imbibing freely from it. A model insect of considerable size appears and flies around the old man's head. The presence of the insect disturbs him greatly, and he swats at it with a broom. At the end of one mighty swing, he loses his balance and falls to the ground. The mosquito picks him up by the seat of his trousers and carries him out of camera view. So there you have it, cinema's first giant monster. It was a giant oversized mosquito capable of picking up a full-grown man and flying off, carrying him away. As you can tell, the creation of a model to be used as the monster on screen is a technique that would be used countless times in the giant monster films that would follow. The Jersey Skeeter was filmed on the rooftop of the A&B building, and it was filmed and released within the same month, July of 1900. The status of the film's current existence is kind of a mystery. No footage of the film can be found online, and there isn't much information beyond what I just expressed in this video. It is very probable that the film is lost, although it is possible that the Library of Congress or the National Archives could both have a copy of the film hidden somewhere, but that remains to be seen. Considering that almost 90% of all silent films are lost, it is more than likely that we will never get to see the world's first giant monster movie. However, the list of early giant monster movies is still plentiful, so do make sure to tune into the next episode where I will cover the closest thing you could get to the earliest surviving giant monster movie. Until next time, take care now.